What is up? Episode 204 of What's Up, Flobo? It's a show we get to hang around and talk about random things that have happened in my life or just news and notes or anything of that nature. I got to thank everyone for tuning into the show during the week. And it's interesting because I look at my numbers kind of here and there, and actually more people are watching this show as far as rate on increase week per week than any other show on the network, which is dumb because this show has the least amount of thought into it. What are you guys doing? I work so hard on the other programming. But anyway, so glad you're rocking with me. If you guys don't know, there's many ways you can support the show and the channel. First of all, you hit that flobito.threadless.com, buy yourself a t-shirt or a mug or a hat. And we have the Patreon, patreon.com/Flobo Boys. Crazy things are happening there all the time, including a new project I'm working on, but I'll get to that in just a second. So it's February 1st. As I record this, probably the second, well, will be the second by the time this airs, and it's Black History Month. Yeah. And I think now more than ever, it has to be important that we take some time to learn about the fantastic men and women of color who helped shape this American fabric. I know there's a school of thought, which I do agree, that Black history is American history, but that doesn't mean we can't spotlight those who have done the thing. Now, it was interesting for me that on my show, New Amsterdam Radio, the podcast of creatives, thinkers, and doers, I've had some guests in recent weeks, Chris Way and Coach E, that were baseball coaches in urban centers and youth centers. So it was kind of cool to talk about Black history through the lens of baseball. And it's very important to understand the relationship between the empowerment of Black people in sport and why baseball integrated. Spoiler alert, it wasn't due to the goodness of their hearts. So it was kind of cool to go through that journey. But that said, if you guys haven't already, there's a lot of resources you guys can check out to learn more about interesting people and events and things as well. I know there is some accounts on Instagram, like Push Black is one I frequent a lot. They are just so open with telling untold stories. How are you celebrating your Black History Month? You let me know in the comments below. If you're not, that's cool too. I'm not going to accost you for doing so. But if you are, that's awesome. Appreciate that as well. And we keep that same energy as we go to like Hispanic Heritage Month or Asian Heritage Month or Women's History Month, which is in March. You know what I'm saying? So, other way, I'm trying to work on other things too to build my legacy. Every first day of the month is a reminder that you only got 28 through 31 days to make it happen, to make ends meet, and I should feel alive. Most times I do. Sometimes I don't. But that's the nature of the beast, especially being your own media person, being your own entrepreneur, being your own CEO. These are buzzwords I don't particularly like to use, CEO and entrepreneur, but I am them. I am a CEO. It's just interesting because it's a one person business. So like, who's my board of directors, right? I'm an owner. Or like, I'm an entrepreneur, yes, but I'm trying to eat. If that's entrepreneurship, then that's cool as well. But I always roll my eyes when someone does that on Instagram, like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur of 3 businesses and I'm amazing. I was like, well, try running 6 businesses and saying I'm just a guy trying to make it happen. But yes, that's been kind of the journey. I'm trying to stop myself from using the word journey. Let me stop right there. I was going to stop down right there. I was going to talk about entrepreneurship, but the word journey for me has been so overused that it's devoid of all meaning. I saw Weight Loss Journey a couple years ago, and I go, oh, okay, that makes sense. You have every day, it's a thing you work on to get better. But then I'm reading people on social media being like, oh man, it's been a journey watching these James Bond movies. And you're like, okay, y'all is being too loosey goosey with that word journey. I hate it. I'm trying to remove from my vocabulary post haste. But I just want to say that it is an adventure being an entrepreneur, trying to navigate paying the bills and getting your name out there and trying new things. But it's always good when someone hits you up with a bit of recognition. Wedding Wire, which is where I put most of my DJ advertising or collect most of my reviews, has just informed me that for 2022, I've been awarded Couples Choice Award winner, which means of all DJs in the area, I'm in the top tier of vendors that couples like to use and they trust on their wedding day. And it's cool. Third time for me, not 3 in a row. I took last year off because 2021 took stats and data from 2020, and no one really worked that year. Am I right? But having it a third time is cool. That another sign that I'm on the right path. Whether or not I am a DJ for the next 10 years, 5 years, 15 years remains to be seen, but it's always cool to get the little tip of the cap to say, hey, look, I'm making memories in the good way. So that's another win on the entrepreneurship column. And lastly, as the title suggests, Project Switch 2 is happening. For those OGs on my Patreon, patreon.com/Flobo Boys, you remember Project Switch? That was the first time I had a comedy set switched into something else. I documented my writing sessions and recorded my performing sessions, and that Project Switch eventually became Flobo Voices Alone in the Club. Not going to go much far into it, but that means Project Switch 2 may be similar or maybe something else. Only way you'll know to find out is to become a member of the Boisterous Crew. That's patreon.com/Flobo Boys. So you can be along for the ride as I make Project Switch 2 happening. It's going to be a cool month for the Patreon. I can't lie. New episode of Flobito's Book Club, new episodes of Flobo Tries. I have a short story I'm uploading as a serial called Proxy, science fiction piece. You'll love it. It's all happening this month on the Patreon, where we need your support now more than ever. Patreon.com/Flobo Boys. Learn more about Project Switch. And otherwise, I get to be the content creator, media maven, entrepreneur I want to be. It's a journey. That does it for me. Call your mother. I'll be back next week. What's up, Flobo?